this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed Human.
With no fees or minimums on checking accounts, it's no wonder that Capital One Bank Guy is so passionate about banking with Capital One. If he were here, he wouldn't just tell you about no fees or minimums. He'd also tell you about how Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. Yep, even on weekends. It's pretty much all he talks about, in a good way. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bankguy. Capital One N.A., member FDIC. Hey, and welcome to The Short Stuff. I'm Josh Clark. There's Charles W. Chuck Bryant. Jerry's buzzing around out there somewhere. I'm sorry. And this is Short Stuff, like I think I said.
Yeah, the tsetse fly. Something that if you took high school biology, you talked about these little fellows.
The what fly?
The tsetse fly.
I thought we were talking about fruit flies.
Isn't that the tsetse fly?
I don't think so.
Is that different?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I always thought the tsetse fly was the same thing as the fruit fly, no?
No, because I think the tsetse fly, is that how you say it? Passes around dengue fever.
Oh, well, just never mind then, everybody. What we're really talking about is the fruit fly, a.k.a. the Drosophila, and it's impossible to read this next word without reading it like this. Melanogangster, but it's not gangster, unfortunately. Right. It's melanogaster.
Yeah. Most people call them Drosophila, though.
Oh, I've always heard Drosophila, no?
Oh, man, I don't know. Now that you say that, I've never heard it out loud. I've always seen it in writing.
So when you said most people say it that way, you just lied.
So what I mean is, oh my gosh, yeah, I totally just did. Thank you for calling me out for that. I just am a lying machine, apparently, because I didn't even realize it.
They're melanogangsters no matter what.
Okay. So we're talking, let's just call them fruit flies. How about that?
Or tsetse flies.
But there is a bunch, and by the way, tsetse flies are large biting flies, so that is definitely not these.
Jeez. I don't know where.
Now we have to do a short stuff on those guys. Thanks, Chuck.
Literally, probably 1/8 of the show is now misinformation.
So, fruit flies, specifically, how did you say it? Drosophila?
That's what I said.
It's much more beautiful than what I said, so I'm going to go with that too. You know, most people say Drosophila. Those particular kinds of fruit flies, Drosophila melanogaster, they are widely used in scientific experiments, and it turns out, as a lot of people know, that we use fruit flies in experiments. They've actually bestowed a tremendous amount of information to us humans through their biology, through their genetics, through their very existence. We owe a great debt to them scientifically because a lot of them have been asked to sacrifice their lives for the furtherance of human knowledge.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of reasons, which we're going to get to kind of here and there in a sec, but you dug up this kind of interesting bit from February 1947, V-2 rocket, full to the brim, well, not full to the brim, but a lot of fruit flies were loaded up on this thing.
Right.
Traveled 67 miles up into the air, which is technically an altitude which is 1 mile into actual space, according to NASA.
Right.
And they were the very first animals to go into space.
Yeah, and they actually survived that trip. And not one of, like, they were the first animal. They were like a test animal to see. Scientists were like, well, no one's ever been to space. We have no idea what happens out there. Maybe these things are going to come back all mutated and everything. And when they didn't, when they actually survived the flight and the reentry, they said, oh, well, let's start sending more larger animals up. And they did. And eventually we ended up on humans. And that's what we're sending up these days.
That's right. But it was very instructive to see those flies come back without, 7 eyeballs or twice the size or 10 times the size. They were fine. They didn't hulk out.
Yeah. And by that, no purple ripped pants to be found.
Right.
By that time, by 1947, they had actually been used in biological studies for well over a decade. In the 1930s in particular, they basically helped establish the field of modern genetics. A guy named Morgan Thomas Hunt Morgan, basically showed that inheritance is passed along via chromosomes using a fruit fly study. And he did it in months rather than years that his other fellow early geneticists took to prove their studies, and actually end up winning a Nobel Prize for it. And in fact, at least 5 people have won Nobel Prizes from directly working with fruit flies.
Yeah. I mean, if you want a Nobel Prize, not a bad place to start.
That's right.
And the reason why, or maybe we should take a break and then talk about some of the reasons why.
Okay.
Right after this?
Yes. If you own a home, you already know stuff breaks. It's not if, it's when. And somehow it's always like the AC in July or the fridge right after you go to the grocery store. That's why you always hear people say they don't make appliances like they used to, because it's kind of true.
That's right. Good thing there's American Home Shield. With an AHS home warranty, they can help fix major home systems and appliance breakdowns like your AC, plumbing, or fridge. And if they can't repair your covered item, they'll replace it, no matter how old it is.
And that's huge, because fixing an AC can cost a lot. Like, hey kids, our vacation is canceled a lot. Plus, as a benefit to select plans, you can get real-time video help from live repair experts to troubleshoot home hassles at no extra cost.
Listen, everybody, home ownership is already stressful enough. No need to upset your wallet. So check out American Home Shield now and get 20% off any plan at ahs.com/SYSK and see promo details. See ahs.com/contracts for coverage details, including service fees, limitations, and exclusions. American Home Shield. Don't worry, be warranty. Hey, everybody, we want to talk to you about The Big Bang Theory. That's a show that became one of the most defining sitcom of its era and really built a fan base around its memorable characters and unique group dynamic.
That's right, which is why we think you'll enjoy the official Big Bang Theory podcast. It's back, covering seasons 3 and 4 of the show. Host Jessica Radloff sits down with crew and cast members like Kunal Nair, who plays Raj, Mayim Bialik, who plays Amy, and Kevin Sussman, who plays Stuart.
That's right. You're going to learn all about the Easter eggs you may have missed, behind-the-scenes stories, and how certain real-life relationships shaped some of the most memorable storylines.
Yeah, there's cast reflections years after the series aired and expanded content around famous episodes and storylines. It is exactly what you're looking for if you're a fan of The Big Bang Theory. The season is on video, so watch the official Big Bang Theory podcast on HBO Max, or listen wherever you get your podcasts, and stream episodes of The Big Bang Theory on HBO Max.
All right. The reasons why fruit flies are really great are multifold. One of the reasons, if you're going to study genetics, what you need to study is generations.
Right.
And fruit flies are really quick. They can create a new generation in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that means you can study generation after generation in short order. They are very easy to breed in the lab. They're small. They don't put up much of a fuss.
No, all they ask for
easy
is,
to care for.
Yeah, they just want a little cornstarch and sugar soup, and they're happy.
Yeah, a little fruit maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't even have to give them fruit. That's really, cornstarch and sugar soup is fine with them. But yeah, ultimately, I'm sure they prefer the real deal, you know. But if they're being raised in a lab their entire life and countless generations of their lineage before them have been raised in a lab, they'll take the cornstarch and sugar soup if that's all they can get.
Right. But why, oh, why, my friend, if you're going to study human genetics, would you even bother looking at a fruit fly?
Well, that's a great question, Chuck. And the answer to it is that we share a surprising number of genes with fruit flies. Apparently, 8,000 of our 20,000 to 25,000 genes are analogous to fruit fly genes.
That's really amazing.
Yeah. So if you study those genes in fruit flies, you can extrapolate to humans, you know, what they do, what happens when you poke them with a whatever, what happens if you shine a light on them, if you're doing an optogenetic study. There's a lot of questions that we've answered through genetics because of that benefit of having similar genes. And apparently 75% of the genes known to cause diseases in humans are are shared between humans and fruit flies too.
It's so cool. Another cool thing you can do if you want to say, oh, I don't know, like what if you live in the Arctic and you're always, or the greater northern climates of Canada, and you're just basically cold all the time. What is that going to do to your gene activity and your metabolism? Well, let's put 2,000 fruit flies in a chamber and make it super cold all the time.
Right.
And look at them and see what happens. You can get a large population study very, very easily because these little fellows are so tiny.
Yeah. They also share, in addition to genes, a lot of the same biochemical pathways that humans have too. One example I saw is that they don't actually get Alzheimer's, but they have all of the same pathways and brain structures that Alzheimer's befalls in humans. So we can study those pathways and try to treat Alzheimer's just by looking at these pathways and these brain structures in fruit flies.
Yeah, I also thought it was funny when you look at the downside of fruit flies, aside from just some of the genetic components, the biggest downside, it seems like, is that they're fruit flies. And fruit flies are super annoying.
They really are very annoying. They're apparently what's called a cosmopolitan species. So wherever humans are, they're going to be there too. And the reason why is apparently because we live in conditions that they find very suitable, like moderate temperatures that are fairly stable. And we like fruit too. And sometimes we leave our fruit out and it gets a little past ripe and the fruit flies say, thank you, sir, or madam. Yeah. They doff their little top hat, click their heels together with their spats, and they go to town on that juicy banana.
Yeah.
Which I guess if you have a juicy banana, you want to throw that out.
Yeah. But did you see that listener mail, by the way, about the banana bread banana?
No.
Someone emailed about something you said and said that I think one of the big reasons too is because they get really, really sweet. Is why you want to use an old banana.
I gotcha.
But anyway, the fruit flies love all that stuff.
Yeah.
So if you live near a dumpster, unfortunately for you, which I did in my apartment in Los Angeles.
Oh boy.
Had a dumpster behind my apartment, which is where I found my cat LaRon, by the way.
Well, then
so it wasn't all bad.
Worked out, yeah.
Or if you compost, God help you. It's a great thing to do, but you're going to be dealing with some fruit flies.
You are. And again, I mean, there's really not a lot besides annoyance that fruit flies provide humans. Like they don't transfer or transmit communicable diseases.
Yeah.
They're not a disease vector. And on the flip side of that, they've actually stood in as models for disease carrying insects. Like we know a lot about how mosquitoes transmit disease by studying fruit flies as models. So they basically annoy us, but they've furthered our understanding in medicine in countless ways. And yet we're still like, yeah, but they're annoying. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's so human.
It is, but they're not like that rat, the tsetse fly.
No, that dengue fever spreading mofo.
And apparently if you do compost like inside and you have even if you have a thing with a lid, they're going to gather around. You can set up a little vinegar jar, like a canning jar with vinegar at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then a top made of plastic wrap with some holes in there. Mm-hmm. And you can trap them and even remove them safely, I think, if you want.
Yeah, just throw them out in the yard and say, go find a juicy banana because I don't want it. Although it is true, you can use those for banana bread. I forgot.
Yeah.
So fruit flies ahoy. The next time you see a fruit fly, don't swat at it. Say, thank you, fruit fly. Your kind has been very beneficent to my kind, and I appreciate that.
That's right.
And since Chuck said that's right and tapped his watch, Short Stuff is out.
Stuff You Should Know is a production of iHeartRadio's How Stuff Works. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.